I request you to please take your seats so that we can start our next session. Please take your seats. Okay.
I think we should give them 5 minutes.
Otherwise they will disappear. Please take your seat and then we will pass to the next session. Please take your seat. Take your seat, please.
There's all tour?
I'm holding it, I'm feeling it dropping.
Okay.
Just like this. Do not touch the mic.
Okay. May I request you to please take your seats? Okay. So we'll be starting our next session of UN Climate Change Global Innovation Hub. This session particularly will focus on the cities and the needs and priorities of cities to address the challenge of climate change. I would like to invite Mr. Masamba Thioe, who is the project executive of UN Climate Change Global Innovation Hub, to make the welcoming remarks for this session. So Masamba, you have the floor.
Please have your seat, and again, good afternoon to all of you. This is my pleasure to deliver welcoming remark to this session, which is a very important session for us because of the focus that we have at the UN Climate Change Global Innovation Hub on cities. Cities are very important for us, counties are very important for us because they are close to their population. And all the work that we are doing is about how can we leverage innovation to serve the many people. My name is Masamba Choi. I'm the project executive of the UN Climate Change Global Innovation Hub, an initiative of the UNFCCC Secretariat launched at Glasgow in 2021. So it's a quite new initiative with a one-fold vision: how innovation can be leveraged to contribute in providing flourishing life to the many people, no one being left behind, while keeping the planet within the, while keeping the activities of human within the planetary boundaries. And then we have a twofold mission: how can we contribute in accelerating the upscale deployment of existing innovation. But when we say innovation, it's not just technology innovation, because we know that the big challenge of climate and sustainability cannot be addressed only through innovative technology. We need to have a combination of innovative technology, but also innovative policy instrument, innovative financial instrument, innovative business model, and innovative cooperative approach, because it's all about radical collaboration across nations, but also within nations. We need also to have innovative product from the cultural and creative industry to facilitate adoption by citizens. It's only if you have an integrated approach where all these different innovative products are combined that we can have an effective response to the challenge of climate and sustainability. The second part of our mission is how can we contribute to the development of the missing innovation. We have some of the innovation already in place. The challenge is to deploy them, but we have also some missing innovation that need to be in place so that we build the future that we want to build. And we have a threefold core value that are articulated around three important aspects of inner development. They are caring, sharing, and daring. We consider that this is really important to work both on, let's say, on the ground for system change, but we need also to work on people to facilitate their inner development. We have to reinvent our industry, we have to reinvent our economy, we have to reinvent our society, but also we have to reinvent ourselves if we want to win the challenge, if we want to address the challenge of climate and sustainability. But if we want to reinvent our society, we cannot do it with any type of framework for innovation. We need to come up with a new framework for innovation that will be suitable for the big challenge that we are facing. We need to have a systemic innovation framework that is life-focused, life-centric, that is vision-driven, that is need-based, collaborative, and also transformative. And to be able to reinvent ourselves, we need to come up with a new framework, a new metacognitive reframing framework that challenge the way we are thinking, challenge the way we are acting, and challenge the way we are interacting, and promote these three core values I have mentioned: the caring, the sharing, and the daring. So the Global Innovation Hub is also about 4 spaces of work. The first is what we call the Systemic Innovation Workshop. because we are promoting a vision-driven approach to innovation as opposed to product push innovation, where you innovate and look for use cases, or reactive innovation, where you innovate to solve a problem, like the COVID vaccine. It's a reactive innovation. There is a problem, we develop a solution. These type of innovation are needed, but we need to go beyond that and promote what we will call a vision-driven innovation, where we paint the futures that we would like to build, and we backcast from that future and translate it into innovative solutions that need to be implemented to support that future. So with this approach, we are inviting cities and counties to come to our systemic innovation workshop and share their vision of the future. What is the future that they would like to build for their citizens? And then we have in the room tech companies, research centers, financial, policymakers, and people from the culture and the creative industry that translate together this vision into a global innovation project. So our systemic innovation workshop receive as input the vision of cities and counties, and have as output global innovation projects that are formulated. Then these global innovation projects are brought to working group that translate them into concrete solutions that will facilitate the implementation of this vision. This is the second working space, this ad hoc working group. And then we have a third work space, which is this dialogue that we are organizing at each COP, where we bring together people from different horizons that are relevant to the innovation ecosystem, and we make them engage, we make them interact. And finally, we have a fourth space, which is a digital platform that will host a database of needs in terms of climate and sustainability solutions. And here again, this is because we have this demand-driven approach to innovation. Our starting point is always what are the climate and sustainability innovations that are needed for the next 10, 20 years. So we'll have in this digital platform this database, and then we will have also on the digital platform deep search engine that will go in the web and look for solution, and we will also engage with potential solution provider to explore with them possibility of developing solution to respond to these needs. And we have one flagship project on which we are working currently, which is the organization of a global city challenge. This initiative is really important for us because we consider that the most transformative type of climate and sustainability solution, the potential for addressing climate and sustainability is actually in cities and counties. Yet, we have an incentive instrument for the industries, which is the carbon market, but we do not have an incentive instrument that will provide cities incentive to mobilize their potential. And this is why we have decided to work on organizing a global city challenge, which will have as objective to incentivize but also enable cities to become accelerator and aggregator of climate and sustainability solutions that serve the people and the planet. The initial idea is to have a three-phase approach for this city challenge. The first phase will be to organize a challenge on vision, strategy, and gap. So we'll invite cities to share their vision in the form of a movie, a short movie, 5-minute movie, but not focusing on big infrastructure like renewable power plant or something like that. What is really of interest here is how the many people, how the individual citizen are satisfying their needs in terms of nutrition and health, shelter, access to products and services, leisure, and clothing, and doing it in a way that is aligned with the climate and sustainability goal. That's the vision in the form of movie. And then we will invite cities to provide a climate and sustainability action plan that will define how to get there, and a gap report. What are the innovative solutions that they need to get there, but that are not yet accessible to them? So with all this information, particularly the gap report, they will be aggregated. We will have a better understanding of what are the gaps, what are the innovative solutions that are lacking, and on which we need to work to facilitate the transition of cities to our sustainability. So this will be the second phase of our city challenge, where we will organize challenge, but not for cities, for the solution provider. We have the gap, we know what are the missing solutions, we organize challenge, requesting the solution provider to work on the solution. And the third phase will be a deployment phase, where we invite cities to implement on the ground the solution, and that phase will provide price on the basis of the impact that is noted on the ground, that has been monitored on the ground. So it's a very ambitious initiative. We are looking forward to mobilize important prize that can give enough incentive for many cities around the world to participate and contribute. We are working with many organizations that have expertise in the issue. We are working with XPRIZE. They are #1 in terms of fundraising and organization of challenge. We are working also with UN SDSN, because one thing is to incentivize cities to act, but the second thing is to enable them to act. Cities may be incentivized, they may be willing to act, but if they do not have the capability to implement climate and sustainability solution, nothing will happen. So in parallel to providing them incentive to act, we want also to have enabling instrument that can give them the capability to implement climate and sustainability solution, including a fund that will give them access to low-cost finance. It's an initiative that we are expecting to be launched at COP30 next year. So we will discuss, we have started, let's say, interacting with cities and all the targeted entities at this COP. So we'll organize on the 14th series of dialogue as well as panel around this global city challenge on the 14th. And we expect to be able to launch this initiative at COP30. And we expect this initiative to last 10 years, between the starting point where we will request submission of vision and then the moment where the cities will be implementing the solution and giving us the possibility to monitor the impact on the ground and give a price. One important thing also is we want this city challenge to be an opportunity to mobilize citizens. So we want cities to participate with their citizens in an inclusive manner, because we believe that this is when we create space for citizens to be able to contribute to something meaningful, something purposeful, that we support them in developing internally. So we really would like to have excitement around this city challenge. And my dream has always been to have climate action as animated, let's say, as with enough excitement to be compared to the Olympic game. We need to strive to have a mechanism that can mobilize people the same way the Olympic game are mobilizing people. So I will stop there and hand over to my MOC, and I'm sure that in this session we will have a very interesting insight on climate and sustainability solution by cities.
Thank you, Masamba, for introducing UGIH and also the work on City Challenge project that we are going to announce next year at COP30. To continue the discussion, I would like to invite MJ Park, who is the research professor with Kyunghee University, to come up on the podium and introduce this session, wherein we have mayors from different cities. She'll be discussing with them the needs and priorities of the cities to achieve the goals which they have set for their citizens to achieve the net zero. So MJ, you have the floor now.
So thank you, Nitin, and thank you, Mr. Choi, to deliver the great introduction of the UGIH for this session. Actually, your intervention is very powerful for us to change our mind with the holistic approach and also the innovative and vision-driven approach. Thank you very much. So I'm really pleasure to be the moderator for this session with this great places and in Baku, and actually our the session is a high-level session with the city representative for understanding of cities' needs and challenges for the better future, and how we can figure out how can cooperate together with cities and UGIH. So this is really meaningful, I think. So today, we invited 5 distinguished mayors in Baku and online from Asia, Africa, and Europe. So I'd like to welcome you all and thank you again. We have seen many the cases of how the great and powerful leaders solve their problems whenever they have the challenges and difficulties. So nowadays, we need leaders for action. We all are needed to be the leader for action. However, and also additionally, we think the more powerful group of the leader is the mayor. So that's because of the mayor's lead administration and all of the policies with the citizens, and also can be at the forefront with the citizens, and also they can demonstrate the program processes with the citizen, and also they knows the most of the needs and challenges in their cities actually. So that's why this special session is organized by the UGIH, really specially to listen from you from the real stories of your cities. Really, I look forward to it, and then I'm really excited for it. So from now on, I'd like to give all of mayors floors to deliver your remarks and speeches about your cities, and also after the presentations, we will have the panel discussions all together. So for the first time, I'd like to invite the Mr. Mayor Lee Kang-deok from Pohang City, Republic of Korea. Mr. Mayor, I invite you to the stage.
Hello everyone. I'm Mayor of Pohang City, Republic of Korea. 제가 조금 더 정확한 전달을 위해서 통역을 활용하도록 하겠습니다.
I would like to take advantage of the translator.
좀 전에 그 많은 사람들이 참여했었는데 지금 이 타임에 좀 썰렁한 게 좀 아쉽습니다.
I'm a bit sorry that I have witnessed that many people are crowded in this session, but I'm a bit concerned that some people have gone out this area.
그만큼 더 집중할 수 있어서 좋다고 생각합니다.
But it also gives us power to concentrate on my speech.
예, 제가 있는 포항시는 대한민국의 지방자치단체 중에 하나이고 기후위기 대응의 중심에 서 있다고 생각합니다.
Pohang City is a local municipality in South Korea that stands at the forefront of addressing the climate crisis.
우리 모두가 알다시피 인구, 생활, 문화 인프라, 또 경제 활동이 집중된 도시는 전체 지구 표면적의 3%에 불과하지만 전 세계 에너지 소비량의 60% 이상을 차지하고 탄소 배출의 75%를 배출을 하고 있습니다.
As we all know, cities which concentrate population, cultural infrastructure, and economic activities occupy only 3% of the Earth's surface, but account for over 60% of global energy consumption and 75% of the carbon emission.
이것은 도시들이 직접 움직여야 우리 전지구적인 기후 문제를 해결할 수 있다는 것을 보여주는 것입니다.
Therefore, these factors means that our local cities must take action to solve global climate issues.
오늘 이 자리에 모인 도시들은 서로가 직면한 과제의 특성과 필요를 이해하고 기후 정의의 실현을 함께 만들어 가야 할 것입니다.
The cities gathered here today must understand the characteristics and the need of challenges we face and work together to realize climate justice.
여러분, 제가 있는 대한민국 포항시는 제철 산업으로 급격하게 성장한 도시입니다.
Pohang City is an industrial city that rapidly grew through the steel industry.
그렇게 성장을 이루었지만은 이 과정에서 많은 이산화탄소를 배출하고 지구 온난화에 심각한 영향을 미친 도시 중에 하나라고 생각합니다. 최근 10년간 우리 포항의 평균 기온이 0.2도 상승을 했고 폭염 일수도 1.2일 늘어났습니다.
However, we emitted a large amount of the carbon dioxide, significantly contributing to the global warming in this process of our development.
전 지구적으로 겪고 있는 이러한 기후 위기 문제가 이제는 포항에서도 바로 직접적으로 겪고 있습니다.
Over the past decades, Pohang's average temperature has risen by 0.0 Celsius degree, and the number of heat wave days has increased by 1.2 days on annual basis. Pohang is now city experiencing the global warming's backlash.
지금으로부터 2년 전, 그러니까 2022년 9월 달에 우리 시가 겪은 초대형 태풍 흰남노가 우리 지역을 강타를 했습니다.
About 2 years ago, a super typhoon entitled Hinnam-no struck Pohang City. And this typhoon, which poured 510 millimeters of rain in just a single night during the several raining days.
과거에 겪어보지 못한 것이었습니다. 여러 날에 걸쳐서 폭우가 지속됐고 심한 날에는 하루에 510mm가 저희 지역에 쏟아졌습니다.
The most hottest day, it poured 510 millimeters of rain in just a single day.
태풍도 예년보다 훨씬 더 자주 우리 지역을 공습했습니다.
Particularly, we witnessed more frequently typhoon which struck our region area.
이런 흰남노 태풍으로 제철 산업의 중심인 포스코 제철소가 가동을 멈추고 약 집계할 수 있는 피해액만 8억 달러에 이를 정도로 막대한 경제적 손실을 초래했습니다.
This super typhoon halted operations. The POSCO, our representative steel industry, steel manufacturers, steel mill, it is the heart of our local steel industry. It caused enormous economic losses, about $800 million.
복구하는 데만 135일이 걸렸고 복구를 위해서 총 동원된 인력이 140만 명의 인력이었습니다. 물론 이것은 대한민국 여러분 아시다시피 그 속전속결 주야불문이라는 것을 아주 잘하는 것입니다. 그렇게 했는데도 불구하고 이 많은 인력과 시간이 걸렸습니다.
It took about 135 days and total of 1.4 million personnel to recover our damage, our local damage. This kind of strong performance is, I'm proudly saying that this kind of speedy performance is the strength that our Koreans may prove to outside world.
저는 우리가 도시가 겪은 이러한 문제가 우리 모두가 직면한 문제이고 또 이것을 해결하기 위해서는 지속 가능한 발전과 기후 행동의 실천이 필수적이라 생각합니다.
This crisis Pohang is facing is problem we all face, and sustainable development and climate action are essential to solve it.
저는 시장직을 11년째 수행을 하고 있습니다.
I have been serving as a mayor of Pohang City for over 11 consecutive years.
2014년도 제가 처음 취임할 때 우리 포항은 제철 산업 중심의 전통적인 산업 도시였습니다.
When I took office my first year in 2014, Pohang was a traditional industrial city centered mainly on the steel industry.
2015년 파리에서 모든 국가의 온실가스 감축 의무화가 결정된 이후에 우리 포항은 지속 가능한 미래를 위해서 회색 도시에서 녹색 도시로의 전환이라는 새로운 도전을 직면하게 되었습니다.
However, after the Paris Agreement in 2015 mandated greenhouse gas reductions for all countries, Pohang City faced a new challenge of transitioning from a grey city to green city for sustainable future.
제철 산업에 의존했던 50년간의 도시 구조는 변화가 필요했고 기후 변화라는 시대의 파도에 맞서 싸워야 했습니다.
The city structure dependent on the steel industry needed to change, and we had to fight against the wave of climate change.
이에 우리 도시는 세 가지의 새로운 도전을 통해서 지속 가능한 발전을 추구해 오고 있습니다.
To this end, Pohang City is pursuing sustainable development through three new challenges.
첫 번째 도전은 제철 산업 이외에 더욱 다양한 산업 분야 육성을 통해서 산업의 다변화를 기하고 지속 가능한 에너지 체계로의 전환을 이루는 것입니다.
Our Pohang City's first challenge is to achieve industrial diversification other than our local existing steel industry.
도시의 미래를 위해서 기존 철강 산업의 대신에 수소화는 제철 공정 내지는 저탄소화 혁신을 시도해 하고 있고 배터리 수소, 바이오 산업 등과 같은 신산업 육성 기반을 지속적으로 조성해 오고 있습니다.
Pohang City is attempting to innovate new carbon steel industry and other method taking advantage of a hydrogen technology for our city's future, and it has been creating a foundation for fostering new industries.
이러한 노력들은 중앙정부로부터 2차 전지, 수소, 바이오 특화 단지로의 지정으로 이어졌고 포항의 미래 신산업 발전에 박차를 가하도록 하고 있습니다.
This industry, our new new growth industry sector refers to the battery, hydrogen, and biosectors. And this effort has led to the designation of specialized complexes for battery, hydrogen, and biosector by Korean government.
그 결과로 2015년 기준 우리 철강 산업의 그동안의 수출의 94%를 차지하던 것이 2023년도 그러니까 작년도에 53%로 줄었습니다. 대신에 화학 분야가 2015년도에 1%였는데 작년도에 2023년도에 38%로 늘어났습니다.
As a result of our continuing effort, the proportion of our local export of the steel merchandises has remarked 94% in the year 2015, and it has decreased to 53% last year. While our local chemistry exports proportion has increased from 1% to 38% last year.
이제 포항은 산학연구원이 긴밀히 협력하여 혁신적인 연구개발과 인재 양성을 통해서 지속가능한 발전을 위한 구체적인 전략을 마련하면서 기후변화 대응과 경제적 변형을 동시에 추구하고 있습니다.
Now, Pohang City pursuing both climate change response and economic prosperity by preparing specific strategies for sustainable development through innovative research and development and talent cultivation with close cooperation between industry, academia, research, and government.
우리 포항의 두 번째 도전은 2030년까지 전력 사용의 20%를 신재생 에너지로 공급하는 것입니다.
Our Pohang City's second challenge is to supply 20% of power consumption with renewable energy by 2030.
우리 시는 연중 불어오는 해풍을 활용한 해상 풍력 단지를 조성하고 수소 인프라를 기반으로 한 수소 산업 도시를 구축해서 청정 에너지 사용률을 높여 나갈 계획입니다.
Pohang City is increasing the use of clean energy by creating offshore wind power complexes, utilizing the sea breeze that blows throughout the year, and building a hydrogen city based on hydrogen infrastructure.
또한 시민 참여형 탄소 중립 에너지 전환 시범 마을을 조성해서 태양열과 지열 등의 청정 에너지를 적극 사용하고 있습니다.
In addition, we are actively commercializing clean energy such as solar and geothermal by creating citizen participation, carbon neutral energy transition pilot village.
포항의 세 번째 도전은 도심의 녹지를 조성하고 또 그동안 급속한 도시 개발 과정에서 아스팔트 도로로 뒤덮은 하천을 걷어내고 생태 하천으로 복원하는 포항 그린웨이 프로젝트입니다.
Pohang City's third challenge is the Greenway project for urban green space creation and ecological stream restoration, which used to be buried a long time with asphalt when Pohang City needed to concentrate on our local development.
포항 그린웨이 프로젝트는 포항을 회색 산업 도시에서 지속 가능한 녹색 생태 도시로 변화시키기 위한 핵심 정책입니다.
The Greenway project is a key policy to transform Pohang City from grey industrial city to a sustainable green ecological city.
2016년부터 시작한 포항 그린웨이 프로젝트는 도심 내의 탄소 흡수원을 확대하고 수생태계를 회복하는 동시에 시민들에게 쾌적한 휴식 공간을 제공하는 것을 목표로 하고 있습니다.
The Pohang Greenway project, which started since 2016, aims to expand carbon sinks in the city center and restore aquatic ecosystems and provide citizens with pleasant resting spaces.
폐기된 철도를 도심 녹지축으로 조성한 포항 철길 수번 그린웨이 프로젝트의 대표적인 성공 사례로 하루 평균 3만 명의 시민들이 산책을 하고 또 휴식 공간으로 이용을 하고 있습니다.
Our Pohang Greenway project, initiated in 2016, marks a significant step in this direction. A shining example of this initiative is the Pohang Railway Forest, where proposed an abandoned railway into vibrant urban corridor, now enjoyed daily by an average of 30,000 citizens as a recreational space.
이러한 도시숲과 둘레길 조성, 또 복개된 하천의 복원 등과 같은 그린웨이 프로젝트로 포항에 67만 제곱미터의 녹색 공간이 조성되고 연간 온실가스 88톤을 감축하는 살아있는 온실가스 흡수원을 마련할 수 있었습니다.
Through various facets of the Greenway project, including urban forest creation, train development, and river restoration, we've added 670,000 square meters of green space to our city. This living, breathing greenhouse gas sink now reduces our annual emissions by 88 tons.
그에 따라서 대한민국 내에서 각종 상을 받는 것은 물론이고 UN 해비타트 주관 아시아 도시 경관상을 수상을 하고 영국 킵 브리튼 타이디 주관으로 그린 플래그 어워드 등 국내외로 그 성과를 인정받고 있습니다.
Our such effort have garnered not only national award but international recognitions as well, which includes the Asian Urban Landscape Award from UN Habitat and the Green Flag Award from UK's Keep Britain Tidy organization.
이러한 우리 포항의 도전과 변화는 전폭적인 시민들의 참여가 있었기 때문에 가능했습니다.
This kind of transformative changes have been made possible through the proactive participation and support of our Pohang citizens.
우리 시는 지난 10년간 8만여 명의 시민들을 대상으로 환경 교육을 실시했고 시민들의 환경과 공동체 의식을 강화하는 데 주력하고 있습니다.
Over the past decades, we provided environmental education to approximately 80,000 residents, focusing on strengthening environmental awareness and community engagement.
또한 2천만 그루 나무 심기 운동, 에너지, 자동차 탄소 포인트제 도입 등을 통해서 시민들과 함께 실천하며 녹색 도시로의 전환을 가속화하고 있습니다.
We are accelerating our green transition through citizen-led initiatives such as our 20 million tree planting movement and the introduction of a carbon point system for energy-efficient vehicles.
존경하는 세계 각국의 시장님 여러분, 그리고 이 자리에 참석한 참석자 여러분, 도시는 단위가 큰 국가보다 훨씬 빠르고 유연하게 움직일 수 있습니다.
Dear mayors and all the participants here from around the world, cities is given more agility and adaptability than the nation.
우리 도시들이 과감한 기후 정책을 수립하고 실행함으로써 국가와 세계의 기후 행동을 선도해야 합니다.
Our cities must uniquely positioned to lead the charge against climate change.
각 도시의 시민들에게 기후 변화의 심각성을 알리고 기업과 학계 등 다양한 이해관계자들과 협력하고 세계의 다른 도시들과 공동의 해법을 모색해야 합니다.
It is incumbent upon us to establish and implement audacious, bold climate policies that can serve as a beacon for national and global climate action.
수십 년간 이어온 도시의 패러다임을 바꾸는 것은 마치 거대한 배의 방향을 바꾸는 것 같이 어렵습니다. 그러나 도시는 혁신의 중심이자 변화의 원동력이기에 반드시 해야 하는 일입니다.
Change the course of the city that now has followed a certain trajectory for decades is akin to altering direction of massive ship. It requires tremendous effort and unwavering commitment.
최근 일부 국가들을 중심으로 기후변화 협약 탈퇴 움직임 등과 같은 그간 우리 국제사회가 지구를 살리기 위해 함께 노력해왔던 것에 찬물을 끼얹는 그런 사례가 언급되고 있어 매우 안타깝게 생각합니다.
Recently, I witnessed worrying circumstances of some countries' threats, which include their withdrawal of Paris Agreement. I sincerely express my deepest concern over such a movement.
지금 우리가 하고 있는 결단과 행동은 미래 세대에게 물려줄 유산이 될 것입니다. 지금 이 순간 우리가 함께 내딛는 한 걸음 한 걸음이 미래 인류를 위한 큰 도약이 될 것입니다.
I believe we should move forward with this faith that this is the way for the future of this planet and our next generation.
함께 모두 힘을 모아서 지속 가능한 우리 지구의 미래를 향해 나아갑시다. 감사합니다.
In this pivotal moment, every step we take together represents a gigantic leap for humanity. Let's join forces and move toward to sustainable future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. We also have the Madam Anita Schneider, the County Mayor of the Gießen, Germany. Anita, floor is yours. So could you welcome her with a big round of applause? Yes.
Okay, dear colleagues and friends, my name is Anita Schneider. I'm the elected district governor of Gießen, Germany, and I have been in office since 2010 and having been directly elected. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to address you, and my short presentation is titled Sustainability in the District of Gießen, Visions, Challenges and Approaches. Our district lies in the heart of Germany. It includes 18 municipalities, 2 universities with 36,000 students, and it is the home to 280,000 people. The district is characterized by an urban structure on one hand and a rural structure on the other. This means that we have different requirements for climate protection. The challenge lies in enable comparable living conditions throughout the district. Possible solution for these challenges in the city or in the countryside can and will be very different. The countryside offers space for expansion of renewable energy sources. Sustainable agriculture can reduce greenhouse gases emissions, enables the energy recovery of bio-waste and contributes to regional food supply. In some cities, we have well-developed infrastructure of heat pipes. This helps heating buildings with renewable energies. For example, in rural areas, this is much more difficult due to the lack of infrastructure. Heating networks are missing. There is no money to build them, therefore, individual solution must be found. The same applies to mobility. In the city, it is easier to provide good public transportation due to shorter distances and higher usage. In rural areas, public buses cover longer distance and transport fewer people. This is expensive and make it more difficult to expand the availability. Both mobility and energy for heating are important fields to achieve a net zero vision for the cities. Our vision and goals. The district of Gießen has been actively protecting the climate since 2010. Since then, we have established a department called Climate Protection, Climate Adaptation and Sustainability. it has become clear we need more staff to implement our vision and goals. As districts, we also have the task to advising and supporting our cities on the path to greater sustainability. This is how our master plan called 100% climate protection was created. Among other things, it proposes these goals: expansion of energy supply from renewable sources. The expansion of solar parks and wind power is progressing. More than 60% of energy is generated from renewable sources. Low emission mobility and the reduction of motorized private transport. We have promoting this expansion of cycle paths and have made bus and train transportation more attractive. This includes the reactivation of 2 railway lines and 12 phases with zero emission buses. Promotion of regional trade, especially regional crown produce. The district administration is setting a good example here and only consumes regional and fair trade products. We have established a circular economy to recycle waste and reusable resources. Our goal is the building of bio-waste fermentation plant. This year's sustainability strategy was also adopted by the government. It focused on 6 fields: good and fair working condition and sustainable economic activity, sustainable administration, lifelong learning, healthy living, and cultural participation for all, protection of resources, and adaptation to the effects of climate change. Let me come to the end. We have also implementation a policy, and this policy is a smart city strategy. We want to use digital technologies to create services that promote prosperity and social cohesion. This includes collecting and analyzing data to improve quality of life, for example, digital high water detection systems. We want to use digital services to improve medical care in rural areas, such as a digital consultation hour. We are making offers for lifelong learning. To this end, we are developing social hubs for rural areas. Social hubs support social life and other digital learning and training courses. For example, understanding new technologies, trends like artificial intelligence. Housing demand strategy. Together with our cities, we have founded an organization that supports companies in the construction and refurbishment of apartment blocks in order to provide our citizens with affordable housing. Sustainable requirements such as the use of renewable raw materials or good wages for construction workers are also taken into account. We are implementing the smart city strategy with funding from the federal government. Our task is to create solutions that can also be used and implemented by other districts. The measure gaps or challenges in realizing our goals: high bureaucratic hurdles for the construction of wind turbines, for example, the necessity of acquiring financial support from both federal and state governments, And we need to convince people to work together for more sustainability, because every individual can make a contribution. At the same time, we must also keep climate justice in mind, especially when people are afraid of the future due to economic developments. It becomes important that our contribution to sustainability improves the quality of life for everyone. This also strengthens our democracy. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Anita. For the next floor, we have the gentleman from the Uganda, the Mr. Innocent Bakulungelo Ssekiziyivu, Mayor of the Mubende town, Uganda. Please welcome to the podium.
Thank you very much. I'm indeed delighted to be part of this engagement in Baku. I'm Engineer Ssekiziyivu Innocent, elected Mayor of Mubende municipality in Uganda. This municipality lies in the central Uganda, where we are managing the people of different characters, because central Uganda accommodates all Ugandans due to the capital city being in the central region. And I think most of you know Uganda as a source of River Nile. We are very grateful to share with you the advantages of supporting our local governments in global engagement in terms of climate management. We are indeed very grateful that if we didn't have partnership, we wouldn't have managed the climate issues adequately. We went into partnership with Germany through Gießen district, and we were able to achieve the following. During COVID area time, we are supported to quickly eradicate the pandemic in our region, and the Central region was among the first to get rid of this pandemic because of the support we got from global engagement via Gießen. And we also got resources to support our children who are disadvantaged, who could not complete school because their families could not accommodate enough lighting for them to revise. Remember, when we are fighting to restore good climate, we should have a lot of partners, and among them are children. When children are at home and they are not studying, they may not take back this information to their parents. Global engagement through Gießen supported us by providing 300 homes with solar lights, which enabled these children to get the literature of environment and take it back to their parents and their society they are living in. Remember, if they are not educated enough, they are the ones who are going to turn around and destroy the environment. Mubende municipality produces about 20 metric tons of waste every day, but we could only manage to collect 8 metric tons a day. Through global engagement and through our partners, Gießen, they have managed to support us to start a biogas process whereby our schools are going to start using biogas when we are preparing food. Remember, all these schools I have in the Mubende municipality, I have 3 secondary schools, I have 2 technical institutions and 2 universities. All of them were using firewood. but they are supporting us to get from firewood to biogas so that we reduce on the consumption of wood, and by doing that, that will restore our trees. In this, we are not only going to get biogas, but remember we are going to get organic manure, which is going to go back to our farmers, and they get good food which is not contaminated with artificial fertilizers. This one is in high gear, and on that they have added a wheel loader which will enable us to manage the landfill we have been putting this waste, such that we sort it out properly. They have enabled us to acquire resources to start mobilizing our people to sort waste from home, not from where we are dumping it. All these are done in support of environment and good climate. Mubende municipality could not afford all this if it didn't have the partners. But we are indeed very grateful that they have done a great job towards improving on our climate. We are indeed very grateful that our budget, we are managing the climate issues on 7% alone. But having got these partners through engagement, global engagement, we have increased it to 20%. I know it is still below average, but I hope with time and increase the funding, we shall reach where we want. Colleagues, I would like to inform you that we need to put a lot of resources on climate issues. One of the areas which we must interest ourselves in is that we must start with mind change. And mind change comes with a lot of communication. And you know today's dynamics, that communication requires a lot of electronic approach, whereby you need to communicate via social medias, and at the same time, you get instant and quick feedbacks. If you don't do this, you are not going to do anything. Sometimes people easily pick our ideas, but in terms of getting feedback, when it delays through the normal and ordinary way, you may fail to effectively manage this. So our governments are lacking enough resources, because today, any electronic approach you are going to use, it means resources, which resources we don't have enough of them. And we have a lot of radios in our urban areas, but each radio, you need to pay a program. However good it is, they can give you one program in a month free, but the rest are supposed to be paid for. A case in study in my country, a program of 1 hour goes to 1 million. That's about $280. So if you don't have it, that means you are going to remain with your information, however good it is, when it is not disseminated to the people. Under that area, I pray and ask that we consider facilitating communication if you are to improve on our climate changes. Then we need to again go into the dynamics of society. How do we communicate with the youth? Sometimes they like through drama. At times you need to create flyers. At times you need to engage them on social medias. I think you agree with me. When you go on social medias, rarely you find climate issues. You find only entertainment. Yet, it is this young generation which is going to suffer a lot if we don't equip it with necessary information and they start thinking about environment and climate at large. I beg colleagues, whoever wants to fund should look into this context and fund it. Another challenge we have for us in urban setup, we have a challenge that most of the programs neglect us. I'll give you an example. In Uganda, when you look at UNICEF, when you look at most of the international organizations, they think urban areas are well off. Whenever they bring programs, they take them to rural local governments. I challenge you to visit urban areas. We have a lot of challenges than even the rural ones. Remember, if challenges are created in town and they are not handled at an adequate time, they spill over to the rural areas. Another area we need to plan, adequate planning, which includes environment, which is environment friendly. But you know that in most of the urban areas, we follow development. We go where already development has happened. And by planning, you cannot adequately plan when you are friendly to environment and climate. It is high time to give a lot of resources into this sector so that we plan ahead of the developers, such that by the time they come to settle, we already have a planned environment. Rearranging town order will create better environment. You know that our towns have a lot of activities. If they are not we don't create a good town order, we will find a disorganized town and everything will spill over to the rural areas. Some of our towns have got a lot of source of waters from town going to villages. So if these waters are contaminated, that means by the time they reach villages, they are going to cause a lot of diseases. We have another request that such arrangements or engagements are held in developed countries. I beg, it is high time you also fund and bring them to undeveloped countries, such that when you look at how we are damaging environment, the underdeveloped countries are damaging more than the developed ones, because the developed ones now, you are in reshaping, you are in improving, but the other countries are still destroying. So such gatherings put in our countries will create a lot of awareness and it can attract a lot of people to attend from Africa, because most of them may not manage to come to these areas where we are today. Challenge of access to grants. You know, if it was not now global engagement through Gießen as our colleagues, wouldn't be having these resources. When you are giving out resources, you think so much for central government. And you know, with central government, sometimes their priorities might not be our priorities. Since we are down with the people, we are the foot soldiers, we are the implementers, we need these resources to come direct to lower local governments. And in assessment, we are assessed adequately. I'll give you an example. Since we partnered with Gießen from Germany, Mubende municipality has been the best municipality in assessment under World Bank programs 4 times, because these resources are coming from Gießen, German, through global engagement to Mubende municipality, not via central government. And we have at least 100% power on how we are utilizing it. I beg you start thinking about involving local governments directly, not through central government. Because when we get a challenge, you may find that those ones in the center are not feeling it the way we are feeling. I beg that you consider that so that you start directly engaging with us. That one will be we shall be very grateful. local governments and urban areas, we have a lot of innovations. Our innovations are curtailed by resources, like planning. We have quite a lot of plans. We feel we need to start with schools. Remember, some of these programs are not yet entrenched in school curriculums and syllabuses. But at our level, we have some issues we can include in our curriculum at our local level. So support our programs by funding them and increase resources you give to these international bodies like global engagement so that they can lower support us. We feel that Mubende municipality, with the support we have, we feel that we have a lot to improve. We created a bylaw where we asked all the parents, to those ones who are not renting, who have houses, to plant 3 fruit trees. I'm very grateful that we have achieved this by 70%. And we were assessed by the World Bank. It came and looked at this and they liked it so much. But remember, the people are asking us, where can we get good fruit trees? The nurseries, those ones who could support to make nurseries. We are grateful that global engagement through Gießen supported us, but it could not have adequate resources, otherwise it would be a little bit ahead of this. We do believe that urban settings, we have a lot of challenges, but we don't have adequate resources. We are grateful that the global engagement is not forcing us to do what they want, but they build on our ideas. They want us to see us contributing towards the challenges we present to them. Thank you very much. I beg to leave.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. From now on, we'd like to invite 2 more mayors participating online line. So I'd like to check the status of the sounds. Can you hear me as well? The Mr. Didi, Aryadi from the Padang city, Indonesia. Can you hear me? Hello, we are here in Baku. And also I'd like to invite Mr. Didi Aryadi from Padang city, Indonesia. Hello, we can see your faces on, views the screen. Hello, good afternoon for you. Can you hear me? We don't have any sounds from you. So, Mr. Didi, could you please try to talking continually for checking the sounds?
Check sound.
Yes, merely we can hear you. Okay. So please, can you please start your presentation? So we have. Okay, try. So Martha, can you hear me? Please make us hear your sounds. So.
Hello, check
Ah,
sound.
yes. Unmuted, actually. Very great. So this is your floor. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Didi Aryadi again, Assistant Secretary for Development, Padang City, Indonesia. Yes, Mr. Didi, floor is yours.
Sorry, Mr. Didi, get prayer. So to next round, it's okay.
Oh yeah, yes, willingly accepted for your excuses. All right. So I hope we can meet you in a short time.
Yes.
Okay. So we have
Mr. Didi, come here.
Okay. So Mr. Didi, hello. Good afternoon. So it's your floor. So I already introduced you to the floor. So you can start your presentation right away.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm late. Okay, you know, in Padang right now is still the night. Thank you for the time and till when? Sudah sampai mana?
Baru mulai.
Okay.
Start.
Okay. Can we share screen? Oh, I think we have a. You can share screen? No?
Okay. So Mr. May has the presentation already. So please show up the PPT file on the slide. Or come up the.
Okay. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next, please. Yeah. Next, please. Yeah, this is the overview of the city of Padang. As you see, the area of Padang more than 994 kilometers square, and population in Padang more than 950,000 people. And you know, Padang relatively flat morphology and protected area cover approximately more than 66%, and cultivated area the others 34%. And Padang, in fact, we received by 5 major and 16 small rivers. So a little bit quite much river going to Padang, and Padang is costly, highly vulnerable in the impacts of climate change. Next. The climate change impact, right now, temperature always increase every year. Rainfall change 75 millimeter per month. Sea level rise 0.8 till 1.2 centimeter per year. Extreme waves increase more than 1.5 meter. Coastline of 18,000 kilometers is classified as vulnerable. So increase in disaster events like floods, landslides, coastal erosion, total wave, and the others. Because of that, we must do something, because if do nothing, the climate change impacts will be more in Padang. So the policy of Padang City in efforts to mitigate the impact of climate change, number one, the city of Padang is committed to implementing low carbon and climate resilient development planning, and it's a regional medium-term development plan. We call it RPGMD for 2019-2024. And in the upcoming, the next medium regional plan include climate-sensitive urban social spatial planning, waste management and circular economy, and development of low-carbon transportation and plans for electric public transit implementation. So we will shifting about the public transportation. And the second one, Padang City's commitment as a pilot city for Urban Act. So we are corporate about the Urban Act. The next, please. And urban adaptive spatial planning for climate change in Padang, a space utilization control. So number one, limit the development of various activities and settlements in area designed as disaster-prone zone and areas with slope greater than more than 25 degrees. Development facilities and infrastructure that function to mitigate disaster impacts. Regulate the use of space that already built in disaster grown area and develop a city that is climate resilient and disaster resilient with eco-friendly buildings. So this is our regulation. So the number B, preserving protected areas. In 2010-2030, our roadmap planning, and 2023 till 2043 for detailed engineering design, The general purpose of the zoning regulation for space utilization is in protected areas are stipulated in the interest of low carbon and climate resilient development. Number C, provision of public green open space. In the 2010-2030 roadmap planning and the 2023-2043 detailed engineering design of Padang City, the general provision of the zoning regulation for space utilization in protected areas, the location of the public green open space, like the color at the map. Maintaining, the number D, maintaining protected rice fields. So to control the conservation of rice field and ensure the availability of rice land to support national food security, Padang City has designed to protected rice area covering more than 2,000 hectares. So Padang is the city, but we have quite a big land for the rice fields. Next, please. Urban adaptive spatial planning for climate change, the development of green open space or city parks in each district is part of effort to mitigate climate change and achieve the mission of zero carbon emissions. As you know, in Padang we have 11 districts, and every district have a city park that used for the mitigation climate change and achieve the mission of zero carbon emission. The next, please. Climate Village Program. Padang already has 6 Climate Village Program to encourage active participation of the community and operatives in implementing local action to increase resilience to climate change impact and GHG emission reduction. Climate Village are located in Batipu Panjang, that's the name of district, Lamambuki, Limomanis, Butempurung, Kuranji, and the others. In this climate village already exists. One, local action of climate change adaptation and mitigation activities at the location. Two, institutionalization of communities group as drivers of activities. Because of that, this is empowerment of the society, the community. Three, supporting aspect that can ensure that sustainability of the implementation and development of climate change adaptation and mitigation activities. This is the picture. And the next, please. This is the important thing, waste management and circular economy. So in community service activity based on 3 main principles. Number 1, conducted simultaneously every month. Number 2, families. And number 3, in front each household. So we must ask for the community to clean their each household. The activities are carried out regularly with different themes each month. This initiative involves all stakeholders, include the government, West banks, NGOs, private sector, and educational institutions. Number 2, Padang sorting the waste into the goal. So we have a regulation for segregation waste from the home. Educating residents to sort organic and inorganic waste at the household level is a key initiative. Organic waste is utilized for maggot cultivation, BSF, black soldier, black soldier fly. And while inorganic waste is collected and sold to local waste banks. So we have more than 38 waste banks in Padang right now, where it is converted into gold in collaboration with state company. So the state company buy the result of the waste bank. Number 3, construction of an integrated waste management site, the construction of an integrated waste processing facility on area 1.5 hectares at the Ayding landfill with process more than 200 tons of waste per day. This called refuse derived fuel, RDF, to replace the coal for the like cement factory, like a power plant. Usually they use coal for the electric. Right now they use the result of RDF. Next, please. Provision of low carbon mass transportation electric cars, and provision of low carbon public transportation with the operation of mass transportation bus, serving 6 corridors, which in the future will shift from fossil fuels to the electric. We serve the transportation need of the community. So start for the next year, we shifting the engine from the conventional engine to the EV, electric vehicle. And in 2025, Padang City initiated a plan to implement electric bus public transportation for Corridor 1 for the first, in collaboration with PPP, Public-Private Partnership. This is a scheme. And the city of Padang, in collaboration with Urban Egg and Shenzhen Bus Group from China, exploring the potential for low carbon transportation sector collaboration to be implemented in Padang. So Shenzhen have a very good experience for the public transportation with the EV. So we have memorandum of understanding with Shenzhen Bus. Will conduct us about the shifting the public transportation to the EV. Next, please. Challenge and policy recommendations to promote low carbon development and climate resilience in urban areas. Challenge number 1, the lack of collaborative efforts among stakeholders and development elements regarding low carbon and climate resilience development initiative. The preparation of low carbon planning documents has not involved all stakeholders, resulting in a diminished sense of belonging over the low carbon development model. Number 2, limitation in availability and accessibility of data for mapping opportunities and challenges in climate action. Number 3, limited knowledge and technical expertise. Number 4, constraint on funding and competition with other development priorities. Number 5, restricted access to climate funding mobilization. And number 6, climate change related funding policies and planning in some contexts tend to be incident based rather than data driven. And the recommendations, number 1, mapping opportunities and challenges in building climate action. The second one, building government committed and cross-sectoral collaboration to advance the national development agenda in planning document focus on low carbon and climate resilient development based on gender equity, disability, and social inclusion, like JETC. And number 3, fostering public engagement with inclusivity and transparency in low carbon development. The public should have access to open information, such as the steps to be taken, the impact on livelihoods and skill needs. Number 4, low carbon and climate resilient development should be accompanied by investment modeling. This modeling can estimate the financial resource that need to be mobilized from both the public and private sector to achieve the transition to low carbon economy. Number 5, enhancing institutional capacity and urban climate governance, as well as city development policy instruments that are sensitive to climate change. Number 6, developing incentive mechanism from the government aligned with the development priorities of each region. Incentives maybe include funding support and capacity building that will be provided if regions successfully integrate climate mitigation and adaptation action plans into the regional plans, both 5-year and annual. Number 7, assisting cities in identifying concept for urban climate action investment. And the last one, innovative funding, specially climate action financing by the private sector. In the future, private financing will be key to low carbon and climate investment. So that's all of our presentation for the low carbon development and climate resilience policy in the city of Padang. Thank you so much for attention. Thank you.
Thank you, the Secretary, Deputy Secretary. And we have one more interesting story by Mr. Yahweh Samuel, the council member, Rakai District, Uganda. So, are you there, Mr. Samuel?
Yes, please.
Yes, floor is yours.
Please. Thank you so much. First, I would like to thank you for this opportunity, and to everyone present, thank you for being around. First, I would like to thank my colleague from Uganda, Mayor of Mubende, Mwami Ssekiziyivu, webale nnyo okutukiikirira. My presentation is about cities, and I'll majorly focus on Ugandan cities. The presentation will be guided by, we will have to look at enabling infrastructures that are so crucial for achieving the net zero vision for cities. Then we will look at the challenges and then solutions. And first, my name is Yahweh Samuel Kabanda, and I work as the district physical planner for Rakai district local government. Rakai district is located in the southwestern part of the country, Uganda, and it borders Tanzania. Actually, Rakai suffers immensely with the impacts of climate change, and we are one of the districts that fall under the dry corridor districts in Uganda. These districts suffer so much when it comes to climate change. So it calls for urgent action, and we've tried so much to do something in that regard. Like I mentioned, my presentation looks at cities. We all accept and agree that cities are centers of population, infrastructure, and economic activities. They are key contributors to climate change in terms of the greenhouse gas emissions, and at the same time, they are hotspots for climate impacts and vulnerabilities. However, cities play a very great role in combating climate crisis. We also note that besides the cities, it has always been an imperative for the countries to take the lead in the fight against climate change. Under this, a number of countries have made pledges, and these have been communicated under their national determined contributions. However, the contribution, like the targets have not yet been met, and the global temperatures continue to rise. This set into a new ground of action, whereby Vision 2050 was set, majorly looking at cities attaining the net zero emissions. When we talk about the net zero, it doesn't mean actually zero emissions, but it means there will be a balance between the amount of GHGs that's being produced and the amount of GHGs removed from the atmosphere. Therefore, like I mentioned, that cities are hubs they contribute greatly to the emissions. Therefore, cities have to be at the core front of taking action to ensure that Vision 2050 of net zero is achieved. Uh, what are some of the enabling infrastructures that are crucial to achieving the net zero vision for cities? One, we see that a number of existing environments can enable different cities to attain the vision. One, we look at the available clean energy technologies, where we have solar, wind, and waste management. We also see that there are technologies which are energy efficient when it comes to building technologies. And of course, we also have materials which are eco-friendly that can be used in terms of building construction. Another issue is smart mobility. We now see that a number of electric vehicles are on the market, and solar-powered vehicles are also. These all help in controlling the emissions. We also see that there is a lot of political and technical will. We've seen a number of mayors presenting here. This shows that there is that will and support from all the technical and political arenas in terms of climate action. City level partnerships are also good when it comes to cities attaining the zero vision. We've heard from my colleague from a mayor from Mubende, who was talking about the good side of partnerships they have with Mubende and the Germany city. We see that these partnerships, the city twinning, helps in decision making and adopting best practices when it comes to handling a number of climate related issues. Access to finance is also a very big option, and of course, research and low carbon planning. We have a number of new planning paradigms that focus entirely on addressing climate change, save for the previous way of planning, where we could only focus on people and then environment in terms of economic booming. Then, if we see that there are a number of enabling infrastructures, then why are cities not really achieving the vision? Of course, there are some gaps, challenges that hinder a number of cities to attain the goals when it comes to net zero vision. First, there is difficulty in financing net zero initiatives. A number of cities don't have the required funds to run campaigns and initiatives that majorly target on reducing emissions in the cities. Then lack of proper technology in terms of data capture, analysis, and then reporting. This limits cities to report their achievements in terms of climate action, because if you cannot be able to report, then it is not so easy for another person to tell the efforts that you're putting in to, like, combat climate change and its related impacts. Another one is the mindset of city dwellers. A number of city dwellers have that negative mindset when it comes to climate change and individual actions. They always think that climate action calls for only those in big offices like the mayors and then their technical personnel, yet in the fight, it calls for everyone to take action. Also, there is lack of clear roles and responsibilities for cities. It is not so easy to find cities that have clear responsibilities in terms of how they should play in delivery of net zero, because a number of them don't have strategic targets, save for the nation. You look at countries have set their targets when it comes to climate action, but we've not seen cities setting up targets, individual targets, besides the national targets. This has hindered the speed at which the cities will attain the net zero. Remember, the target is 2050. And also, climate change information packaging is also another problem for cities. In most information that is climate related, that is passed on to the city dwellers, you find that they want to make people believe in climate change. Yet, people don't need to believe in climate change. People should just understand the science, and that science will help to trigger individual actions. So the packaging of climate change information is also still wanting. We also see that a number of encroachments on ecological areas and land degradation happens entirely on cities because of the population increase and cities being hubs for industry and transport, and all these have their negative impacts when it comes to climate action. Then, what actions have already been explored or implemented to address climate and sustainability challenges? In this, I will talk specifically about Ugandan cities. When you look at most of Ugandan cities, a case in point being Kampala, we've adopted renewable energy development where we have a number of solar street lighting and then tree planting campaigns. And under this, we've had a number of projects which are aimed at in city beautification. A number of towns and cities in Uganda are adopting the non-motorized corridors, where the aim is to improve on pedestrian mobility and save the emissions from the cars. Waste management is also something that Ugandan cities have thought about, but however, despite the efforts, management is not that so convincing, and recently we had waste slides in the capital of Uganda, Kampala, and a number of people lost lives just because of lack of proper technology when it comes to waste management. However, we've tried to see that at least we solve the issue of waste management. A number of cities are also adopting the free car days, whereby certain streets are closed and cut off from access by cars, and it is free for people. And then these green mobility devices like bicycles and the rest. So it also helps that such a day, the number of emissions that would have come from the cars is also reduced. And we see that a number of open spaces and urban parks are being preserved and reserved. And this helps to reduce on the urban heat island, and also land use planning and development control is another that we've tried to explore. And a case in point being Rakai, we cannot approve a person's building plan if the person cannot plant a tree in his a plot of land. So this helps to improve on the tree coverage, and you know that at the end of the day, the trees help in carbon sequestration. We've had a number of climate change marches where we aim at behavioral change. And another is being the government has helped cities to get people connected to electricity. This helps to solve the issue of tree and deforestation. For example, Rakai, we have 3 central forest reserves, but because people have not really accessed electricity, they tend to this ordinary way of lighting and heating, whereby trees are being cut to replace the would-be services that are got from electricity. Then one would ask, does some of these implemented measures, can they become a good lesson and for other cities to adopt? I think to some extent, we see that a number of the explored actions are being reciprocated in various cities around East Africa, and this shows that a city can learn from another when it comes to climate change action. And we see that if cities take the core front in terms of climate action, they will help to supplement the national actions when it comes to climate change, and this is a very big opportunity for countries to gear up their climate action. In conclusion, I would like to urge everyone listening to always take individual action, because we are in this together, and the little actions that we take individually, they at one point sum up and then become something to be proud of. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yahweh. And also thank you so much, mayors and all representatives given the speech. So from now on, we will have the short discussion time. So mayors and representatives, please come up to the stages for the discussion, and please have a seat. And also mayors online, keep staying and be a part of our discussion, please. And also I invite Mr. Choi as well to the stages one more time. He gonna have the meaningful discussion time with together. So, yes. Thank you again, and that's really impressive because yeah, it takes a quite long time to share our own story, because we are struggling and we are having the difficult time to recover our problems or our current situations. It's our stages we are in together. And my understanding is that, and also I learned a lot from your presentations about your cities. And also, I feel like that each city has some totally different situations right now. However, we are here to convert our opinions and our wills onto the same purpose we are having right now. So, however, this is really difficult to make the balance between positive thinking and negative thinkings. So when we can be positive when you see the things going well. However, sometimes we just frustrated when we're focusing on the challenges. We still have the many challenges to go forward, actually. So, however, in my opinion, to equalize these two white and black points, that is only way to identify as our own clear goal. So when you see the vision, we can be the positive, I think. So this is my feeling during, I'm sitting here to be shared your all story from your cities. Thank you again. And also on this point, I'd like to ask you to Masamba to share a little bit about the vision. So we need to be on the same pages right now. So we need to make our mind on that one point on the shelf to share together. So as Mr. Masamba delivered in the opening remarks, vision-driven approach or needs-driven approaches you mentioned about, I think that is a starting point of our all efforts making together in the future.
Thank you, Dr. Park. And again, thank you to all our mayor for your excellent contribution. Yes, indeed, there are a variety of situations faced by different municipalities, different counties, but there are also some communalities. So it means that the approach that the Global Innovation Hub is developing, which is a demand-driven approach to innovation, where we try to understand the specificities of a municipality, the specificities of a county, and try to see how innovative solution suitable to that situation can be developed is the right approach. Of course, there are some communalities that we can address globally, but we will need to have, let's say, individual engagement to understand the specificities and try to see how they can lead to specific demand that could then be satisfied by innovation. One thing that is important is the communality around the vision, because all of the cities are focusing on how they can build a bright future for their citizens, how they can provide flourishing life to their citizens while keeping their activities within the planetary boundary, meaning being aligned with the climate goal, being aligned with the biodiversity goal, being aligned with land regeneration, and consuming natural resources within the planetary boundary. That could be the vision around which almost all the cities can be aligned, the future that they would like to build. Now, depending on the specificities of each cities where they are currently, there is possibility to develop some specific innovative solution that can help them build the future that they want. And it's important also to balance between the current challenge that the city needs to address, which is a reactive situation. This is needed, but it has to be complemented by a more proactive solution where you paint a future and try to also to implement that future.
Thank you very much. Yes, vision will lead us to our goal together. So I think it's really important time for cooperate radically each other. So for this UGIH, it will be really great platform to convene together and encourage each other and share our knowledge and experiences. And also finally, we can daring for overcoming our challenges together. On this context, I can give you only one question for all mayors for this the discussion time. How could the UN Climate Change Global Innovation Hub best support you and your city in addressing your prior challenges? And also, if you have some good ideas, how can they collaborate radically and deeply together between cities and between UNFGIS in your cities?
Okay, thank you. I have one important point. Our sustainability strategy includes an important decision. We want to assume global responsibility. And we have brought along an example, a short film clip. But before we start this film clip, I would like to take the opportunity to promote multiple development policy. I'm convinced that this is the way to develop partnerships with the Global South and equal footing. Municipalities work together and learn from each other in implementing climate goals. It is important that we recognize the different conditions and need in the municipalities, but also the same topics. We strengthen our partners in the independent implementation of projects. This makes the administration of the municipalities strong enough to take on further challenges. I am convinced that the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development is creating good conditions for such cooperation through the work of Engagement Global. Without the logistical and financial support of Engagement Global, these partnerships would not be as successful. In this way, the ministry is creating the condition for climate protection and the SDGs to be implemented to the municipalities. This is where people can feel the positive effects.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. So
and now we can start.
Oh.
It's really short. It's
okay.
2 minutes.
Okay, let's go on.
Erinnya lyange nzina Mubende nga nsinziira wano wennyini ebyayi bwe tuli era nkolera wano era wukiri mu musawo. Neebaza nnyo kampuni eno eyasobola okutuleetera ettaala kubanga luli tubadde bubi nnyo nga tuli mu nzikiza nga omuntu ayinza okujja oba ng'aleese agenda batuusaako obulabe nga temulaba. Twafuna ekitangaala ekimala bizinensi zaffe tezisobola okuba nti nno zibbibwa. Birungi ebirala tufunye bizinensi ezibadde teziriiwo kati okugeza ono ow'enkoko wuuna ali mu kwokya nkoko tuba tusobola okukola bizinensi oli n'afuna ekyokunywa wano n'afuna n'ekyokulya. Abaana baffe basomerako ebitabo ettaala lino bwe litandika okwaka amazima gali nti leki eba nnene ekubira ddala eri.
Era ng'egiri wali kitokota sikisaanikire. Amanya gange nze Nakimbugwe Noelina nsomera ku St. Andrew Kagwa Primary School. Ndi mu kibiina kya 6 nina emyaka 12. Tubadde tukozesa ettaala ya tadooba nga katwala amafuta nga kaleeta n'omukka mu nju nga tetusoma na bitabo. Twebaza mmeeya wa Mubende Municipality eyagenda e Germany n'atufunirayo ettaala ya sola.
We are here in Kansela Trading Center, part of Mubende municipality, to show you the people's initiative of asking for support so that they can do business. What you are seeing here is a result of the lights they got from the partnership with Gießen in Germany. After getting them, they were not working at night, but you see now they are working. It is not of a lot of money, but it was a combined effort that our people had an idea which can assist them to support their families.
Diese Projekte wurden erfolgreich umgesetzt, weil sie der Problemlage vor Ort entsprachen. Man brauchte beleuchtete Viertel für die Geschäftsleute, für die Sicherheit von Frauen und Kindern. Dies zeigt aus meiner Sicht, kommunale Entwicklungspolitik macht Kommunen stark. Denn die Stadt Mubende hat sowohl die Planung als auch die Organisation und die Umsetzung übernommen. Der Landkreis Gießen beriet und unterstützte. Das ist wichtig für die Kommunen vor Ort, dass sie merken, sie können die Lebensbedingungen selbst verändern.
Anita, thank you for your so touching video. So this is what we are doing right now. Thank you very much. Yes. So, Mr. Mayor Lee, you can share your ideas for how can we collaborate and roll out the UGIS for your city?
그 독일 기센 씨가 무벤데 씨를 도와서 이렇게 하는 거 보고 굉장히 감명을 많이 보고 또 이렇게 작은 것에서도 저렇게 많이 도와줄 수 있구나 하는 걸 느꼈습니다. 저희들 도시 같은 경우에는 우선 제가 발표를 했다시피 하천을 도심에 있는 하천들을 전부 이렇게 덮었다가 이렇게 이제 몇십 년 만에 좀 더 복원을 하고 있거든요. 복원을 해서 생태를 복원하고 이러는데 이런 부분을 개발도상국가에 있는데 앞으로 찾아서 조금 더 이렇게 좀 기술적으로나 여러 가지 경험이나 이런 것을 공유를 해서 좀 더 짧은 시간에 쉽게 이렇게 할 수 있는 그런 것들을 좀 도와줄 수 있지 않겠나 이렇게 생각을 하고요. 그 다음에 조금 더 나아가서는 우리가 지금 제철 산업을 하면서 이산화탄소를 굉장히 많이 배출하는 거거든요. 전 세계적으로 대부분 제철 산업을 많이 하고 있으니까 그게 결국은 기후 위기에 굉장히 나쁜 역할을 하기 때문에 우리가 지금 수소를 수소하는 제철, 하이드로젠을 활용해 가지고 하는 그것을 지금 계속 지금 개발을 하고 이렇게 하는데 지금까지는 조금 산소를 줄여가는 걸 지금 하고 있거든요. 그걸 수소를 조금 많이 넣으면서 궁극적인 목표는 수소를 활용을 해서 완전히 100% 수소를 활용해서 탄소가 전혀 안 나오도록 하는 거거든요. 그건 역시 포스코를 중심으로 해서 정부가 같이 개발을 하면은 결국은 나중에 전 세계적으로 제철 산업에 우리가 선진국은 물론이고 뭐 여러 중진국까지도 다 전파를 해서 기후 위기를 극복하는 데 많은 도움을 줄 수 있지 않겠나 이런 생각을 합니다.
First, I must say I'm so impressed for the supportive plan of the Gießen city of Germany to Mubende city, even for the details of the residents in Mubende city. I'm so appreciated on behalf of all human mankind. And describing the plans, our collaborative plans in international scale. First, we would like to illustrate our previous plan for the restoration of our urban streams. We think that we already have secured so many know-hows how to proactively, how to eco-friendly proceed such construction. And we would like to share our know-hows to underdeveloped countries, especially in the Asian continent. And other thing that I would like to mention is that our local based infrastructure, that is a steel manufacturing infrastructure, which attribute to the high high rate of the carbon emission among all sectors of the industries. So we would like to secure the know-hows, taking advantage of the hydrogen, and we are aiming to our goal to net zero carbon emission in our local area eventually. And for achieving our goal of the net zero carbon emission, we expect many support and collaboration with POSCO, our representative local steel manufacturer, and Korean government as well. Thank you.
Innocent, you have the last moment, 30 seconds? Okay.
We are indeed grateful. Our concern as cities and municipalities have been exhibited that the more you assist and support the peripherals, you reduce on the pressures of coming to the CBD. Most of these people are working, you saw in Mubende, wanted to come in the middle of town where there is light. But when Gießen partnership supported us with lights and we put them in peripherals, you see they are doing business comfortably. Our point of concern is how can we equip the international bodies to have adequate resources for the support? Because at the ground, at the grassroots, we have the ideas, as you have seen. But that support to make sure that everybody is comfortable where he is and we reduce on the pressures of town, we cannot have it adequately.
Thank you very much, Innocent. And also, I'd like to excuse the mayors online because this is a time limit we have seriously. So we can move forward about with more communications in the future. So we need to finalize our discussions right now. And also before the final moments, actually this is a serious movement and is eager for the future of this better future. It will be really meaningful. So it will be the first steps as we need to go forward together, actually. So we're seeing many things. However, it's empowered ourselves as well, empowers all citizens. We are living together. So I hope this needs and our priorities will be solved by the innovative approaches and vision-driven approaches using this chance. Thank you very much, and also thank you for your time as well, and thank you Masamba, and thank you everyone to be here together to share about the needs and priorities from the city level. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you, MJ. Just to inform you that we'll continue our discussion on the City Challenge project that Masamba mentioned in his intervention in the beginning on 14th of November, starting at 10:30 in this room. So if you are interested, please feel free to join us here in Bhutan on 14th at 10:30. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
terus, terus, terus. Terus. Terus.